No już możesz.
Okej, cześć, witam Was bardzo wszystkich serdecznie. Z tej strony Jędrzej Jezierski. W imieniu Wrestling News zapraszam Was na wywiad z promotorem, z menadżerem do spraw promocji w federacji Brii Combination Wrestling, panem Irvingiem Diazem. Hello Irving, how are you?
Hi, how are you guys?
Przepraszam Was niestety, a w zasadzie nie tyle co przepraszam, ale informuję, że wywiad odbędzie się w języku angielskim. Natomiast ci z Was, którzy chcieliby tę naszą rozmowę móc obejrzeć po polsku, informuję, że również w późniejszym terminie udostępnimy wersję z polskimi napisami, tak więc nikt niczego nie straci. Ja bardzo serdecznie zachęcam również do tego, żeby na YouTubie w trakcie transmisji, zdaje się, że będzie to tutaj po tej stronie albo po tej, nie wiem dokładnie, żeby zadawać pytania, które na końcu do Irvinga potem prześlę, czy też raczej przedstawię je. Okay, so first things first, I guess. Let's begin with something a bit more personal, because I think this might be a very interesting thing for many of our viewers.
Okay.
Well, tell me, where are you from, and exactly who are you as the who are you in BCW? We know you are the manager responsible for promotion, but what exactly is your job?
Exactly my job.
Halo? Mamy mały problem techniczny. Hello, Irving, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, wszystko wróciło na normę. All right.
What was the question again? I'm sorry. Because it was a phone call I came in.
Okay. So, the question: could you please tell us something more about your job?
My job, promoting the street team. I go out, put out flyers everywhere I can, in stores, you know, or post it up on the poles where people can see it, by the train station especially. When they're coming out, you give them out, you know.
Okay. We get it.
And what else? I keep reposting on Facebook and Twitter.
So you're also responsible with social media?
A little bit, not too much, because they have more technology with. I mean, more for them than I do. I do the street though.
Okay.
I go it.
All right. So another thing then. I guess that you do what you do because wrestling is some kind of a passion for you. Could you tell us,
Yes.
how did it all begin? What was the thing that made you want to become the person which is connected to wrestling? What made you think that, well, yeah, I want to do something which is connected with the pro wrestling?
I grew up watching wrestling. You know, my uncle introduced me to it most of all. He played around with me in the wrestling moves and stuff, and I was like, "What are you doing?" He was showing me videos, like, "Oh, wrestling, okay, I understand now."
You had like your favorite competitor, your favorite wrestler?
For me, my favorite wrestler, not just one, it's a couple.
Oh yeah, no problem. Go on.
It's like mostly general, like the Rock, of course.
Oh yeah.
Stone Cold, Bret Hart. Who else was it? Undertaker, of course.
Oh yes. Because there is, and will be. Yeah, well, these are the good examples, I think, and many generations of new wrestling fans are consider them to being the best of all time. So this means something.
And playing the games too.
Pardon?
The video games, the wrestling video games.
Oh yes, that's true. I can imagine. All right, so what? So the second part of the question: what was the most important impulse, or when you decided that, well, the wrestling is the thing that you want to do as your job? to promote it, or?
My friend introduced me, and I said, okay, why not just do it? You know, I will enjoy it, happy with it. You know, it'll be a job that I won't be bored at it at all, because I'm watching what I love. You know, I'm doing what I'm to do.
Yeah, this is what they say. If you do what you love to do, it doesn't seem to be your job anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, let's say maybe about the BCW. So I understand that Anthony is the owner of BCW.
Yes.
So how it all started? What was the beginning of Brii Combination Wrestling?
The beginning of Brii Combination Wrestling.
Yes.
I mean, what they told me it was three of them talking about it. His friend Felix brought it up, and he was like thinking about it. He was interested. He said, "This sounds like a great idea," and he started doing it, and he enjoys it also.
So it was like so you say it was a bit more like an impulse. Hey, let's do it. It's going to be a good thing to start a nice project. That wasn't like it was like spontaneous in some way.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing that I've met between our fans in few of our discussions, they always wanted to know what was the main idea behind the name of the federation.
Oh, that question you have to ask Anthony Cole.
Okay, Anthony, are you there?
The name of the federation.
Hello, Anthony.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. How are you?
Oh, I'm excellent. What was the question?
Well, we were wondering what was the idea behind the name of the federation.
Brii Combination Wrestling. So Brii Combination is one of 5 tiers of my parent company. My parent company is called Brii Combination Entertainment. And
Oh, yes.
the reason I started Brii Combination Entertainment is because my daughter, her name is Brittany. And she came to me, she was about 16 and said, "Dad, I wanted to start a company." And I said to her, "Well, come back to me with a name of a company and what you wanted to do, and I'll help you build it." So she was probably about 15, 16 at the time. When she turned 17, she came to me because she's a costume designer. So she came to me with some designs, and she came to me with the name of the company, Brii Combination. So I said, "Oh, wow, if you were really this passionate about it, I'm going to help you grow it." So now all the branches that we have that spawn off of Brii Combination, we keep the name Brii as a tribute to my daughter to keep her encouraged and keep her working hard so she can see how the company grows. So we have Brii Combination Entertainment, we have Brii Combination Comedy, we have Brii Poetry, and now we have Brii Combination Wrestling.
This sounds very, very amazing, especially because it grew from family. So I think this is very special for you and for everyone then.
Definitely. That's why we keep a close-knit family, and all these guys, you know, we work together. We have our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we respect one another and we get the job done.
Yep.
Okay, so one more thing. If you said that your daughter wanted to be the costumes designer, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me, do the Brii Combination Wrestling superstars have something in common maybe with the projects of your daughter?
They do. There's going to be a lot of wrestlers that you're going to see their gimmicks get upgraded in 2017. And the designer behind all of these upgrades is actually Brii from Brii Combination. Yes.
Okej. W takim razie, sorry for a second, w takim razie jak słyszeliście, możliwe, że będzie szansa zobaczyć naprawdę świeże, nowe, fajne projekty dotyczące tego, w jaki sposób gwiazdy z BCW są ubierane. I just said that it's amazing and we are looking forward to seeing in 2017, as you said, how your daughter and the Brii Combination Wrestling, is dressing up their own wrestlers. It sounds really amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so we know the name, but after the name and after founding the federation, I guess the biggest thing is, and it's quite unimaginable to me, how to recruit your first competitors, how to build the roster to prepare the show, for example. Because you start from scratch, you have no one, you have almost nothing, and the base, the biggest base, and the most important thing is to get competitors. How was it? How did you start it?
Well, growing up in this neighborhood, we have the luxury of being right down the block from the legendary Elks Lodge. The Elks Lodge was the first place that held ECW and a lot of wrestling companies run out of the Elks Lodge. So living in the neighborhood, all of my friends and I, we were always into wrestling. Like Irving said, we've been into wrestling since the time we could walk. And many of us actually were involved with independent pro wrestling in the beginning. So as we came up through the ranks, I knew many of the wrestlers. And then some of the wrestlers that I reached out to, they had friends, and we all got together and said, you know what, we're going to create BCW, and I want this to be the first show. And we went and we selected many of our friends to be on our first show. And then word of mouth got out. Then people wanted to do the second show, then the third show. And here we are, December 16th, we're going to be doing our 5th show. So it's been beautiful.
Yes, well, it's because this everything when I was, I have to say, we do not have a lot of in common with the smaller federations in the United States. For example, me personally, when I first heard of Brii Combination Wrestling, I had to check out information about you on the internet, and I was very surprised how many people you have managed to get through your shows, and how many names, big names, you had in your history as BCW. So hearing now that it all came from I don't know, from underneath, it's more amazing even. But let's get to the names that I wanted to bring back now, because we could see that you have the names in your federation, like David Starr, like Grim Reaper, like Anthony Bowens, who has recently had some story with NXT, and also Anthony Nese, and you also had some situation with the Tommy Dreamer. Well, one thing is to gather some people, some friends to begin and start to wrestle, but the other thing is bring the really big names like these guys, which I mentioned, to the still emerging federation. So I just wanted to know, how can you get such a big stars to BCW?
Well, the thing is, like I said, it's all about who you know. You know, like you said, I'm gonna have Tommy Dreamer. I've had Moose, I've had Leo Rush, I've had Human Tornado. And the thing is, you know, when people know you have good business practices, they gravitate to you. And that's the thing, when you hear about BCW, you know there's no nonsense, there's no tomfoolery going on. We're 100% legitimate business guys, and people love that. They come to us and they're always petitioning to be on BCW, and I think it's great. I think that it's been beautiful. So when the bigger names hear me reach out to them, they're like, wow, you know, BCW in the Elks Lodge in Queens, New York. Oh, it's going to be great. So they're as excited to do BCW as we are to have them do it.
Oh, okay, I get it. So let's ask you maybe about the future. What are your and Irving's, let's say, biggest dreams about BCW then? Concerning, okay, let's say at first concerning the stars, for example, you want to see in your federation in the future.
Oh, in the future, I would love to have Will Ospreay. I saw him at a show. He's amazing. I would love to have Leo Rush come back. I actually saw Jay Lethal live for the first time this weekend. Amazing. Jay Lethal went against Chris Hero. It was absolutely amazing. So these are the guys that I'm looking at now. I would love to bring those guys in. You know, and come next year, I've been in contact with a lot of them. So You never know. BCW is going to have a lot of surprises for you. And come January 13th, our first show of the new year, we kicking the door in with a big bang. You're going to love what we have in store for you.
Tak jak słyszeliście, BCW przygotowuje bardzo dużo niespodzianek, będzie dużo nowych gwiazd, pojawiały się nazwiska chociażby jak Jay Lethal. Ja osobiście uważam, że warto się w ten temat zagłębić jak najbardziej. Przypominam, jeszcze raz śledźcie BCW, ponieważ możliwe, że właśnie tworzy nam się bardzo mocna federacja za oceanem. Mała, ale cały czas rozwijająca się. Irving, how about you? Your future ideas for the future stars of BCW?
My future ideas? Wow. Never been asked that question. I'm still fresh with the company. I have to think about that, you know. So whatever happens in the future becomes a big thing. A real big thing.
Big thing.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I wanted to ask you guys about how do you think, it's a bit more theoretical question now, because you're in common with the wrestling world, tell me please, how do you think, how did the wrestling change over the last few years? Because it's a very dynamic world with many factors that change from year to year. The biggest players are redefining, let's say, the business almost every year. So the smaller federations have to keep up with something that the wrestling most gigantic federations cannot give to their own viewers. So tell me, how do you think, what is most important for the federations, for the wrestling like BCW, to give the best from themselves?
You want to take that, or should I? Okay. So in order for BCW, let me just. So BCW to be the best that it can be, we need to continue to bring the audience first-time matches that they've never seen before. We need to continue to be fresh and innovative. We need to do things that people will sit back and look at and say, wow, did BCW really just do that? Like, for example, we had Human Tornado go against Leo. First time Human Tornado had been back in the States in about 3 to 5 years. So to have him against Leo Rush, everybody loved that. And then putting up Tony Nese against Mike Orlando, that's something fresh that the people want to see. Next year, like I said, you know, January 13th, we're coming out the door with a bang. That's going to be our annual Monster Mash. And we got some really big names on this card. I'm going to just give you a couple of names that are going to be on this card. We have Matt Striker, who's going to be on the card. We have Tom Prima, who's going to be on the card. And we got King Mega, who's also going to be on the card. So these three big names already.
This sounds very amazing.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know, the General Romero, he's going to be in action, terrorizing a couple of things. And he's bringing back his entire team. So the entire Brii cartel, led by General Romero, is going to be on this card as well. And also in action that night, you're going to see Mega Muscle, the Big O versus Mike Verner. So it's going to be good.
Interesting fights.
Yeah.
Okay, so we move back to the January 13th, yes?
Yes.
At the end, because this is also the very important part. But you said that it's going to be the annual match. So
the annual Monster Mash. So
annual Monster. So yes. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to know actually how old is BCW then?
Oh, BCW is actually coming up on 1 year. Everything that you see that we've accomplished, we started our first wrestling show. We had our first wrestling show on March 19th, 2016. So we haven't even completed a year yet. In March, and our big show next year, our 1 year anniversary is going to be on March 3rd, 2017, right after our January 13th show. So you can say we've only been in business for a year, but we've accomplished a lot in 1 year.
Okay, so it's very hard to believe, you know. I mean, wow, because you said that you're starting like from just gathering your friends, living next to you, to such a big names which you mentioned. It's Wow, I have to say that this is even not impressive. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable because, well, I cannot imagine anyone gathering so many big names, big people, and drawing so much attention to his project. Let's call it at first, and move it to the status of the series, big organization. When, as you said, you can still produce fresher and better and more exciting matchups. This is unbelievable.
Thank you.
All right, so yeah, we talked about some of the things about BCW, but again, a bit more personal questions to both of you, gentlemen.
Okay.
What do you like the most in your job in BCW?
What do you like the most?
You know what I like the most about BCW? BCW was like a baby. You know, when we started out, we didn't know how to talk. We didn't know how to walk. I didn't know how to talk to the wrestlers and say, hey, this is what I'm looking at doing. How do you feel about this? And they would say to me, well, you know what, don't do it this way. Let's do it that way. So I'm like, wow. I'm like, and my biggest thing is I love learning. So with BCW, I learned something new every day. You know, at first it was just getting the wrestlers to agree to take the match. Now we have the agreement from a lot of wrestlers. So the amount of time we used to spend recruiting wrestlers, now that has become reduced. Now we move on to the next phase of filling the audience, making sure that everybody knows the product.
That we have everybody in those seats.
And that we have everybody in those seats. So now it's about using people like Irving to go out and not only get the word right, and not only get the word social media, but get the word out hand to hand. You know, we go to a lot of other shows, we go to a lot of events, you know, we publicize, we market it, and you know, Irving does a great job of that. If you are in the Queens area, you know about BCW thanks to Irving. And those, it's like exciting to me, you know, just to see it grow from like 50 people at one show to 100 people at the next show to 200 people at the next show.
Yeah,
you know,
it just keeps.
That's the most exciting part for me.
Yeah, so just still improving yourself and working with it, and making it more and more and still developing. I think this is the thing that makes you very, very special. The work job of all of you, I guess.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get back to the business aspect of making wrestling. I had a few questions from my colleagues, so well, we'll see. You don't have to give me the numbers, of course, but I wanted to ask you about some of the efforts to produce the wrestling show. So how long does it take to make let's say one wrestling show with some specific, do you have some specific preparations, or what things need to be done from A to Z to create it?
Like calling each person, make sure each wrestler is free that same day to be there, you know, come in to the list to the next match, and make sure that everybody comes to the shows. And what else?
Yeah, so I mean that's primarily it, right? Checking the wrestlers' availability. But what I find now is this: when we had our first show and we had our second show, we had to really work hard to get wrestlers to agree to do the show. But now, after we've been running consistently, the show now becomes to actually create itself. So, you know, we have storylines with General Romero. We have a storyline with Mike Orlando, a storyline with Darius Carter. So those kind of fill itself. Those roll over into the next event. So those guys are already locked in. Now it becomes easier to now find the rest of the wrestlers to wrap the card around these particular guys. You know, so it all depends on what the next card is going to entail. And with the way things are flowing now, the cards are basically filling themselves. So we'll have December 16th done. We have January 13th done. We have March 3rd done. And we're working on April 30th now. And all of this is a continuation and the completion of everything that we put forth since the first day of our show.
So everything you do, you have, well, this is very, very interesting. So you say that Even though we are talking right now about January the 13th, you have your plans looking much further, because you want to, you already have the new show, the next shows booked already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is very amazing. All right, so let's move to another one, because many people asked me about how to about the ring. Actually, the simple question was, how much does the professional ring cost? So let's not get maybe into the money, but let's say, is it a really big effort to build the professional ring, to get the professional ring?
The ring, well, this is the great thing, right? A lot of independent companies, we all work with each other. So we'll get like someone who has a ring, and then they'll sponsor a Brii Combination Wrestling event, and they'll bring down their ring, and they'll have their ring team set it up and everything like that. And with the amount of contacts I've been making since we first started our show, you know, everyone's been very helpful. So if I need a ring, I can actually get a ring within 24 hours, have a full ring crew come in, set it up, and take care of it. To put the ring together on a day of the show probably takes about 3 hours to get it up.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Yeah, and then it's pretty much set to go. So, you know,
maybe less depending on the
right.
team.
And then depending on the team, you know, the ring can actually get up.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it can get up in as fast as an hour.
So I guess it's like you just can do it by yourself.
Yeah.
Simply. Okay. Because, well, here in Poland, we still, the wrestling ring is something that's, I won't say unimaginable thing to construct, but it seems to be very complicated, and gathering all the resources from ropes to apron, anything, seems quite a big challenge. So that was the question. This is why we asked that question. But well, as you said, it can be done in a couple of hours then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, another thing. How about the costs of having the federation? Is it hard to keep everything rolling, to making another progress, or is it like when you make the show and it turns out to be great and it turns out to draw a lot of attention, is it easy to move from one point to another and continue building a great momentum for your own federation?
It is. And it can be difficult at times. It can be very costly. Like when we first came out, like no one knew about us. No one knew who BCW was. We had a great media team and a great promotional team that allowed us to get a lot of people to come to our very first show. But the first show, even though we had a good attendance, the budget was very high. So we didn't make as much of a profit as we wanted to. But what I learned from that first show was that if I expand my budget a little bit and I calculate the cost based on the amount of people I expect to be in attendance, then I can always keep my costs low and make sure that I mitigate the risk of running a show where the budget is too high and the profit doesn't match the budget. So I've been able to do that. And over the last 4 shows, like I said, it's become a lot easier because we can now project how much we're expecting to make per show and how much of that profit needs to be rolled over into the next show. So with those statistical analytics being done, we're able to capture how many people we need to get in the audience in order for it to be successful, and how much do we need to have in the audience in order for it to prepare for the next show. So right now, with the numbers that we're looking at, if we get, let's say, anywhere between 150 and 200 people at the show, I think that those numbers will be looking very good. And I base the show off of having a smaller crowd just to make things look more intimate. If we get a bigger crowd, that's amazing, right? But I want to base it low and shoot for the stars.
Okay, of course. All right, so you say that about analyzing everything. Do you have the team that is doing it especially for you, or are you doing everything by yourself, projecting all the analyzing everything before the show, or analyzing how much budget to spend?
I do everything. I know how much
multitasking.
Yeah.
Multitasking, yeah.
Yeah.
No, as you said, you already made the company for your daughters, so I guess you really know how to keep the business going, I guess.
Yep, it's just like second nature to me. This is just another branch of the entertainment company that I own, that we own, and you know, just putting all the pieces together. Now that everything's coming together good, oh, it looks beautiful. It's taking shape wonderfully.
Yes, it is.
All right, so let me make a 5 seconds break to address our viewers. Słuchajcie, jeżeli chcecie, teraz powoli zbliża się czas na wasze osobiste pytania. Irving oraz Anthony będą na nie odpowiadać, tak więc możecie w czacie na YouTubie zadawać pytania. Najciekawsze zostaną przeze mnie, czy przez nas tutaj wybrane. Myślę, że chłopaki jak najchętniej na nie odpowiedzą. Tak więc jeżeli jest coś, o co chcielibyście się spytać, nie bójcie się. Myślę, że warto, tym bardziej, że jest to okazja, żeby pogadać z mózgami, które stoją w zasadzie za tymi wszystkimi wielkimi galami, małymi, wielkimi galami, które cały czas powodują, że wrestling może na tym poziomie od zera do roku rozwija się bardzo szybko. Okay, so I just asked our viewers to ask the questions if they want, and we got the first one. It's a question about one of the competitors, and that competitor is part of the federation you probably know. The guy's name is Seth Rollins, and the question is, what do you think of this guy?
I love Seth Rollins. He's awesome.
He's awesome.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we have a lot of in common then. The other question is, you said before that everything started from your friends. So did anyone had anything against starting wrestling business? Or was it like everyone was saying, yeah, let's go, do it?
No.
Oh, I see Anthony is saying no.
It was just the opposite. You know, people know me from being in the music industry. They know me from doing the fashion shows and having a clothing line. So when I said to my friends, I said, listen, I got some buddies that are thinking about opening a wrestling company. What you guys think about that? They all looked at me and said, Mike, you are absolutely crazy. You're crazy. Wrestling? They're like, we don't do wrestling. We do everything else. I'm like, well, we got to try it. You know, and then I convinced them, and they're like, all right, we're going to try it. But I'm going to let you know right now, if this doesn't work, we out. No, I said, okay. So we did the first show, and it was great. And, you know, then we moved on to the second show. And then all my friends were like, you know what? I'm going to bring my son. I'm like, okay, bring him. Then a couple of other my friends said, you know what? I'm going to bring my dad. I'm going to bring my mom. So when we had our May 13th show, 6 out of the 10 people that called me crazy in the beginning were there with their kids and their parents. And it was absolutely amazing. You know, so yeah, they thought I was nuts in the beginning, but I wanted to do it anyway. So, and I believed in it. So we did it, and look where we are now.
You know how to make an impact. Przypominam tylko, że pytania oczywiście zadaję po angielsku, natomiast odpowiedzi zostaną przetłumaczone. Dodajmy do tej transmisji napisy, będzie można odsłuchać ją również w języku polskim. Okay, another question. What do you think about promoting young superstars at the big wrestling shows? Do you think it's the time when there are so many opportunities in young talents to promote them more, even more than those big names that are already at the top?
Yeah, I think there's definitely opportunities to do that. There's so many talented guys on the independent scene now that will really do well in the majors like NXT, TNA, WWE. And I want to pride myself on being a catalyst for giving some of these up-and-coming wrestlers the opportunity. That's why you see people on my show like Maxwell Jacob Feinstein, Sebastian Cage, General Romero, you know, just to name a few. I actually have the GOAT, Zoltan and Riot Rays coming up on my December.
Oh, they look like one bunch of mean guys, so I wouldn't mess with them.
Don't mess with them, and they're ready. They're hot, you know, and the crowd loves them. So that's why I want to make sure I get them in the spotlight. I get them out there and promote them more, because guys like that, they're going to be the future. You know?
Yes, they look like they have a lot of potential. I mean, this is a really good thing that you're doing with it. It takes a brilliant mind, let's say, to put correct guys in the correct place, I guess.
Indeed. Yep.
All right. So another thing, we asked the quite similar question, because I asked you about your dream matches and about dream competitors. But what is the main goal? What is your main goal when it comes to BCW?
Oh, my main goal when it comes to BCW is I want to be mentioned among the greats. You know, I don't want to be Vince McMahon. I want to be Anthony Cole, but I want people to hear BCW and be like, you know what? A lot of great superstars come from BCW. You know, and then I want the up-and-coming talent to say, you know what? If you get a position at BCW, that's prestigious. You know, I want people to be honored to have the opportunity to do a Brii Combination Wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's what we're fighting ourselves on now. We want to be mentioned among the big boys.
Okay, so you said that you want to be mentioned among big ones, but what happens if you become, let's say, the big one, or even the biggest one someday? And the second part of this question is from one of our viewers. His name is, because it's a quite important thing, Brysia 75. She wants to know if you come to Poland when you finally be the biggest guys in the business.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm going to set up in Poland. I'll be right there. Yes.
Okay. Is this a promise?
That is a promise. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much then. Okay, so let's say now a bit the question that is I think most important for the Polish viewers, or viewers from the countries where wrestling is not as popular. The indie wrestling is not as popular, because we mainly watch the biggest federation, and let's say, yeah, everyone knows what we're talking about. And but also in the last few months, I can say that we are getting more in common with the smaller federations, and it's because many wrestlers from WWE are leaving just simply like that. So the question from one of our viewers is, are you thinking about hiring or about working with one of these big names who left the federation?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Definitely.
And not to let too much of the cat out of the bag, but we're looking at people like the Hardy Boys, who are now labeled the Broken Hardys. We're looking at people like Hero, Damian Sandow,
The Dudley Boys.
The Dudley Boys, yes, people like that. So yes, if they leave the WWE and they become available, BCW is trying to get them, definitely.
Okay, so all right, this is quite a big information. I'm going to translate it. Słuchajcie, to bardzo duża w zasadzie informacja, która się pojawiła, ale BCW, a propos pytania dotyczącego tego, czy federacja stara się przyciągnąć jakieś byłe talenty z WWE, tak, trwają właśnie rozmowy, między innymi z Hardy Boys, z Jeffem oraz Mattem Hardy, także z Damianem Sandowem. Tak więc jeżeli chłopakom się powiedzie, myślę, że będzie to gigantyczny sukces. Dlatego kto wie, może jesteśmy właśnie świadkami narodzin czegoś naprawdę dużego w świecie wrestlingu. Za oceanem, co prawda, ale jesteśmy tego świadkami właśnie tu, właśnie teraz. Okay, so another thing. Well, we had quite the same question. I asked you about the Poland, but the question is about other countries now. Do you have plans for the future, or are there any strategies in your mind about expanding BCW to other countries? Do you have any plans for I don't know, let's say the first, maybe not world tour, but the tour around continent or something like this?
Yes, definitely. So right now we're branching out into a couple of other states here in the U.S. We're going to be moving to Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey. We're going to be doing a couple of shows over there. But yes, we do want to have an international footprint as well. I'm working with another wrestling company now based out of Germany, and they're going to be sending their champion over to defend the belt. So that's the first step. And then once that happens, BCW is going to begin their tournament of champions in either March or April. And once we have our champion crowned, we would like to send our champion to Germany to defend our BCW belt. We also have some ties in Puerto Rico where we're going to be doing the same thing, you know, and there's also some stuff happening in Dominican Republic as well. And we're trying to a little footprint over in DR as well. So yes, as the opportunity presents itself to go to different countries, we're on the way. Yeah. And Poland
so I was asking about the continental journey, but you're saying that you're already thinking about going worldwide. So, all right. As they say, act local, think global.
That's right.
Another question about shows, about your shows again, about more unpleasant thing. Have you ever had some serious accidents during your shows? I mean, mostly concerning the health of your competitors. Have you ever had to face something very serious, something very dangerous?
Well, knock wood, that I and my show have never faced anything like that. But I've seen some shows where there have been some injuries, there have been some catastrophes that happen. But, you know, thankfully, that has not happened on my show. And I hope that it doesn't happen on my show. But I've dodged the bullet on that one so far. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay, fingers crossed, yeah. Okay. Because this is a very good question, because Brii Combination posted a few days ago the information about Anthony Bowens. He had a problem at the NXT tapping. So this made some sort of an error for his appearance at one of your shows, as I remember correct. Yes. So
wishes to Anthony Bowens as well. Get well soon, brother.
Okay. Best thoughts to Anthony from us and from you, from us. The next thing is, you said something about championships, about the BCW championship.
Yes, indeed.
So the question is about the belts. How many belts and what type of belts, championship titles do you have in Brii Combination Wrestling?
Well, right now, we don't have a championship yet, but like I said, we're going to kick off our tournament of champions starting in March. And we're going to crown a heavyweight champion, a light heavyweight champion, a tag team champion, and a female champion. So we're going to have 4 titles to start with.
Okej, więc przetłumaczając szybko na polski, jeszcze nie ma pasów, nie ma żadnych tytułów, ale zostaną wprowadzone turnieje, na których ogłoszone zostaną 4 walki o 4 tytuły mistrzowskie. Pas wagi ciężkiej, wagi lekkiej, pasy tag teamowe oraz mistrzostwo kobiet. So the thing is, because I guess it's all in progress. How to make a good belt? What is the process of producing, creating the belt, if you know it, of course?
That is one thing that I'm finding to be challenging right now. There are a few companies that produce belts, but since this is my first time getting my own belt produced, I'm doing the research. I'm looking at a couple of different companies, see who has the best designers, see who can bring the design for my belt to life and make it look as close to what I want, if not exactly what I want on the belt. And I'm just finding some companies can do it, but the amount of time it takes them to do it is longer than I have to wait. So, you know, I'm just shopping around right now, and I think that's the biggest process. Once I find a company that can say, hey, this is your idea, this is your vision, we can do it, and we can produce it in this amount of time for this cost, then I think we're going to pull the trigger. And we're trying to get it done sooner than later. I would like to start the new year with the belts already in my hand, if not at least being designed.
Okay, what's your vision then? The spinning bell, the one with, I don't know, lights or fireworks and playing music.
This belt is going to be something totally unique, but I cannot give you any details just yet until we get it done.
All right. You already gave us a lot of interesting information, so yeah, okay. You can keep this one for yourself.
Appreciate it.
Okay, there is a question from one of our viewers. Who is the owner of BCW? Marek PL12, mogę Ci powiedzieć, że na Twoje pytanie, kto jest właścicielem BCW, patrzysz właśnie na niego, jest to ten pan, który znajduje się po prawej stronie ekranu. I'm saying, Anthony, you are the man behind the BCW.
Yes.
Because yeah, we wanted to keep everything right. Explain to our viewers. Okay, so another question from DJ Chastek. If you really, concerning the thing you said about the Hardy Boys, aka Broken Hardys,
Delete.
If you, pardon?
No, you know their saying is delete, 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 delete.
Yeah. If you really will be able to get them for BCW, would you try to restore them as the Hardy Boys, or maybe would you try to work with them with the same gimmick as they are using now as the Broken Hardys, or maybe you'll try to create some sort of a new vision for them? I mean, still, there are the wrestlers who have their own age, so
Right.
I don't know.
You know what? I had planned on using them as the Broken Hardys. I haven't given much thought to if we would change their name or rebrand them or something like that. But I'm really intrigued by the Broken Hardy character right now. So I think I would use it as is for now.
Yeah, okay. I think it's working.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any plans? Because we can see some of your fights from BCW on YouTube. Tell me, do you have the plans of making your shows, for example, also available to watch somewhere on the internet? Do you want to go into the social media?
Yes.
Yes.
So right now, the way we're gonna structure it is from every show, we're gonna give you one free match. Whatever we vote on and whatever we think was the biggest pop match of that night, we're gonna give you that match free. And what we're gonna do is when we present that match to you, we're creating something called BCW Theater. So we're gonna have a host. She's gonna talk about the match. You know, she's gonna present the match to you, and then you'll see that one free match. Then when you want the entire show, we have all the shows listed up on a website called Gumroad. You can subscribe to Gumroad for $5, and you can see all of our shows right there on Gumroad.
Okay, so I think this is a very humble thing, because watching, especially if you're having such a big ideas with the matchups, I think it will be definitely worth watching. And well, especially there's a thing that I would like to share with our guests watching us right now. It's concerning our future work as partners about your DVDs. So let me officially announce it to them. Słuchajcie, ponieważ BCW ma za sobą dużą galę, którą nagrało, która jest, z której stworzono specjalny zapis na DVD, mogę już Wam teraz ogłosić, że specjalnie zza oceanu kilka kopii tej DVD właśnie z pierwszą galą BCW, kilka kopii do nas przybędzie. Będzie można również u nas u WrestlingNews.pl zdobyć właśnie takie oto DVD. Szczegóły wszystkie dotyczące tego, w jaki sposób będziemy je dystrybuować, jeszcze się pojawią, natomiast już teraz opowiadam Wam, że jeżeli chcielibyście zdobyć taki właśnie ekskluzywny materiał z walk w federacji BCW, jak najbardziej będzie to możliwe. Okay, so I just said that, we will have the material chance to get some of your fights on the exclusive DVD. I bet this is going to be a really big thing for our viewers and for everyone who is passionate about good wrestling. Okay, so let's now move to the future, because the next big stop for Brii Combination Wrestling is going to be January 13th, isn't it?
Yes, the next big show is going to be January 13th, but don't forget about Christmas with a Vengeance on December 16th. That's also going to be a big show. Yes, we have...
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, all right. I just want to say that this is again to our viewers. Postaramy się również, żeby była możliwość oglądania tych gal u nas. All right, go on. My fault. I shouldn't interrupt.
No problem. So December 16th, Christmas with a Vengeance. That is going to be an amazing show. We have the legendary Papa Don taking on Darius Carter, the leader of the Crusade for Change. We have, as you know, Mike Orlando taking on David Starr. And with Anthony being injured, we are replacing him, but I can't tell you who his replacement is going to be yet. But when I release that on Monday, during Monday Night Raw, you're going to be very excited about that.
All right.
And then, you know, we have Grim Reaper as well taking on General Romero. And that match is the challenge match. If General Romero wins that match, Grim Reaper is going to be giving him $5,000. If General Romero loses that match, General Romero will have to wear a bra for the next 6 months. When
bra?
He yes.
In the ring, yes? Or
just in the ring, just in the ring. I don't know, maybe it might be always, who knows?
Maybe he will. Okay. Będzie również specjalna stypulacja na gali 16 grudnia, gdzie General Romero, yes?
Yes.
General Romero będzie musiał, jeżeli przegra swoją walkę, będzie musiał przez następne 6 miesięcy występować w staniku. Okay, guys, you killed me with that one. Okay, so I think it's been an amazing to have a talk with for the last 50 minutes. Thank you very much for spending your time. I have the one last small request from both of you. And I'm sorry for doing it to you, but you have to greet all of our Wrestling News subscribers, but you have to do it in Polish. But I'll try best to help you. Okay. Pozdrawiam widzów Wrestling News.
Say it one more time.
Pozdrawiam widzów Wrestling News.
Pozdrawiam widzów Wrestling News.
Okay, and that's what I was talking about. Bravo. You are going to be great and very recognizable and loved in Poland then, because we love when someone knows how to say hello to us.
Great.
Okay. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Irving. It was a very, very interesting talk, and I hope that we will be able to see more success from BCW. You are a very young federation, but you are very promising. And I personally keep my fingers crossed. All of our Wrestling News keeps fingers crossed for you too. And
Thank you.
All the best for you. Dziękuję Wam bardzo serdecznie za oglądanie nas. To był wywiad z Anthony Colem oraz Irvingiem Diazem, założycielem oraz menedżerem Brii Combination Wrestling. Panowie powiedzieli nam o swojej federacji, o swoich planach. Jak słyszeliście, planów jest bardzo dużo również szans, które się zbliżają przed panami. Dlatego mam nadzieję, że będziemy mieli bardzo wspaniałą jako Wrestling News współpracę z Brii Combination Wrestling, a jej owoce będziecie mogli zobaczyć na przestrzeni najbliższych kilku tygodni. Także zostańcie z nami i mam nadzieję, że Brii Combination Wrestling będzie Wam dawało naprawdę bardzo dużo frajdy. Thank you once again, guys, and I hope to see you in Poland then, maybe.
Yes, maybe soon.
Okay. Goodbye then.
All right. Have a great one.